Hey, what's up guys, Brian Rick here, back with a new video. Welcome to Fast, Electronic, and Loud. Call of Duty has been out now for 2 months. Call of Duty World War II. So I think what we're going to do is take a look at it 60 days later. How does it hold up during the multiplayer experience? We're going to take a look at some features within the game and explore pretty much everything within inside the multiplayer experience during this video. So when we're greeted with the multiplayer, I like the layout of the menu. I like we're on PlayStation 4 for the demo. I like the ability to kind of tab over within the pages. We've got everything laid out here within our matches, even integration with MLG game battles. We can tab over using R1 in this instance to orders. We can check out orders, weekly contracts, things we're working on. It keeps it all very organized and kind of easy to navigate. I really enjoy that. Keeps it simple because, you know, there's other menus and other games that it can get kind of confusing, but I like that it's kind of detail oriented, all into one area, and everything is bundled up. And headquarters, we're going to take a look at that, something new within the Call of Duty titles, new within the series, and we'll take a look at that towards the end of the video. Now, with previous Call of Duty titles, it's very similar with your match types. We've got a featured, we've got a standard playlist, and a lot of those game types you're very familiar with, including the hardcore versions. That's all within public match. You know, nothing new there. This, to be honest with you, Call of Duty, 60 days in, feels like the most pure experience. Now, we're not going to review anything with campaign and zombies during this video. This is strictly focused on the multiplayer gaming, 60 days later, kind of my take on it. Now, the cool thing is, what they did this year is there are divisions. That is correct. There's divisions. There's 5 total divisions. Now, instead of having perks like we had previous Call of Duty titles, they're kind of bundled into these divisions. Each one's going to offer some different features, or perks I like to call them, as you progress with that. So in addition to, you know, gaining XP for your soldier and ranking up, you're also ranking up these divisions, which will then unlock, as you can see here within the armored, there's different things that will unlock, and they're all kind of tailored to each specific division. That kind of makes it cool. Instead of using, you know, perks in the past when you're creating your class in multiplayer, once you've kind of progressed within your division, you're going to have some things that are going to work towards your advantage. Now, depending on what gun, there's going to be some other features that work better, like with mountain and sharpshooter and sniper and things like that. Now, basic training is kind of like the take on perks like we used to know, except you're only elected to get one. Now, they all vary. There's some that, you know, we're kind of familiar with, where your score streaks don't reset on death, or you can earn your score streaks quicker. There's reload faster while sprinting. There's quite a few within the basic training, and then once you have progressed your divisions, let's say, you can actually prestige those. Once you do that, you can come down here to the bottom. There's going to be 5 different basic training options that will become permanently unlocked once you've prestiged your division. So in addition to, you know, prestiging your soldier, you can kind of take it a step further, prestige your division, and gain, you know, some additional basic training there. Going into the weapons, you're going to see some familiar looking weapons from previous titles, which I think makes it fun, it makes it pure, it keeps the game simple. You know, back to the roots was the theme with Call of Duty World War II, and I have to say on the multiplayer experience, they nailed it. You know, adding these variants, you know, all the weapons you get in supply drops are only cosmetics, so, but there are variants. For example, you can get, you know, epic variants, you can even get heroic variants. Now, the cool thing with the variants, they can add a certain percentage of XP as you rank up with that. So we can take a look at some of them here. You know, sniper rifles, we've got shotguns, light machine guns, and there's weapons within each of these classes essentially that will become permanently unlocked when you prestige your division. So it's definitely worth prestiging those divisions and gaining the weapons. And I've gained a few additional weapons through supply drops, you know, completing contracts, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the video when we review headquarters. You know, take a look there. It's like an epic weapon, and they, you know, the variants, they don't change. They're only cosmetic. They don't, you know, change any attributes of the gun. They just look cool. For example, there's an epic, but here's also an heroic. So that gives us a 15% soldier XP bonus, and then also a different heroic variant. So definitely fun to play, you know, complete contracts, complete orders, open those drops, and then you can get some really cool looking variant weapons. So I like the way that they've implemented that. You know, it's been a while since we've seen, you know, enhanced weapons come in supply drops. I think that hasn't been since Advanced Warfare. So looking at the attachments, it's very similar to what you're used to. If we go over here to, let's say, a rifle, for example, we'll take a look at some of the attachments. I've prestige, so I've got some things that I still need to unlock for weapons, but it's kind of the same things that are there, you know, advanced rifling, extended mag, high caliber, things you're used to seeing. So it keeps that experience within multiplayer very pure, and you're used to the attachments within the guns from previous titles, so I think that makes it very fun. We'll take a look at some of these secondary weapons. Some pistols, again, looking very familiar. Now this machine pistol is very cool. I've got a heroic variant of that, and I think it looks really slick there. And that's an automatic. We've got some melees there. I've additionally picked up, you know, like the Epic Rattler. We got the trench knife. Those were all completed through contracts and or supply drops, so I didn't have to pay anything to get those weapons, which I thought is very cool. Bold move, Call of Duty, very smart. And then if you want launcher, you actually have to equip the launch basic training, then you can check out the launchers. And same grenades, you know, satchel charges, mines, sticky bombs or sticky grenades, throwing knives. You've got, you know, concussion grenades, smoke grenades, kind of everything you're used to. The gas grenade's pretty cool. So everything's within the division, so depending on like your weapon and how you have it set up, you can take advantage of the divisions and or the attachments you've got. So looking at the score streaks, some of them again familiar. You know, the Molotov cocktail is very fun. You got, you know, recon aircraft, this glide bomb, fighter pilot, classic, you know, care package. I've been using a lot with paratroopers and carpet bombing in the multiplayer gameplay. Very fun. That ball turret gunner, if you can get that in a score streak, is very, very lethal. So when you've got, like, here you can, you know, adjust your face and helmets, and we're not going to really get into that, calling cards and emblems. You can look at your combat record and leaderboards, and you've got, you know, different gestures you can do at the end of the game or within headquarters. You've also got boosts, you know, like we're getting Division XP or Soldier XP. So as for the actual gameplay itself, I'll tell you what, I started playing Call of Duty back on World at War, and I've played every title since. And if you look at the channel, we've even got a gaming channel. We've done a lot of gaming with Call of Duty. It's one of my favorite games ever. Some people don't like it, and that's your choice, you know. Personally, I love it, and I have to say the multiplayer experience in Call of Duty World War II makes it complete. It feels like Call of Duty to me again. It feels nostalgic. It feels pure, but at the same time raw. It's boots on the ground. That was a very big deal to Sledgehammer and Activision and Call of Duty, and I feel like they really nailed it with this game. You know, I'm not paid to make this video. I'm not sponsored in any means. This is just me being very specific and, you know, giving you an impression of the game, which we did. If you look on the channel, we did a first impressions, but now this is 60 days later. This is 60 days of grinding, making videos, making content, playing multiplayer, prestiging, using the different weapons, prestiging the divisions, you know, going to headquarters, going to open supply drops, just having fun again, it seems like, with Call of Duty, without, you know, jetpacks or boosting around or triple jumps or any futuristic. To me, using the MP40, for example, feels very much like we're playing World at War. Obviously, the graphics are a little bit more enhanced on PlayStation 4. Like, for example, this video is 1080p 60 right now, so you guys can adjust your quality settings if you want. It'll match the frame rate better of the gameplay you're watching. But, you know, on PS4 Pro, the game looks phenomenal. On Xbox One X, it's enhanced. Looks very good. Like I said, I've been playing on the PS4. This entire review video is done using PS4 game footage. And then we recorded all that using the Elgato Game Capture HD60S. So we'll leave a link down for the that game capture device. It's what we've been using on the channel. We are partnered with Elgato Gaming, but we were using their products long before that partnership existed. It's just something we use to record high quality gameplay. It's affordable, it's practical, simple, easy to use on Mac. But that's for another video, and we've talked about that in other videos. But like I said, the multiplayer, it feels to me like I'm playing Call of Duty World at War with my friends again. You know, back, it seems like many years ago when that game came out, but it feels very nostalgic, and I enjoy that. And I very much rate it, you know, at least a 9 out of 10. You know, everyone's like, oh, you couldn't give it a 10. I could give it a 10, but I feel, you know, there's going to be some critics. So I would, honestly, it's a solid 9 out of 10 on the multiplayer. That's my opinion. But I wanted to show you guys also, like we talked about, the headquarters. Something new. It might look familiar, you know, similar to what you saw in like Destiny. You know, you can go up to players, you can commend them, you can check them out, see what kind of gear they're rocking. Go over here and check your mail. You'll get a payroll, kind of like a $100 armory credit. It's 100 armory credits you'll get, I think, every 4 hours. You come down here to the training. range. You know, you can fire your guns, different ones, check things out. You can complete sequences with people next to you because you earn social score within headquarters, so that's a rank in itself. I believe the max rank's 20. I think I'm ranked 11. You obtain rank, you know, by being commended, you know, maybe watching content in a theater, which I'll show you that here in a minute. You know, opening supply drops, watching people open supply drops. You can throw balls around. A couple weeks ago, they had it set to like winter siege, so it was snowing. You can come over here to Major Howard, and this is cool. You can get orders, so it's like things you can complete within the game, you know, to get supply drops or get more armory credits. Now you can see I've banked quite a few armory credits, only 26,000. You can come over here and you walk through here. Now, if you haven't Prestige, you can't walk through, but this is where you would go. You'd come down here to Prestige, talk to the general. You'd hit square and say, hey, we're ready, Prestige. So soon we're going to be a Prestige 3. Then we'll back up over here, and this is where you can actually prestige then your division like we talked about. And when you do that, you'll obtain those extra basic training and then also those guns specific to the class. So we come over here, we got like leaderboards, something cool. Every once in a while they'll reward you with, you know, you can get social score for coming over here and watching, you know, some videos. They might have published something new or some news or some MLG game updates. You can come over here to emblem, and soon you're going to be able, I believe, to kind of create, you know, and then upload emblems and share those with others. We can come over here and do like some score streak training, so you can use all the score streaks, you don't die. I did a video on my other channel, so I'll link that for you guys can check that out, full video about that. You can kind of just cruise around, check out different leaderboards for the game types within multiplayer, so it's kind of fun. So instead of just, you know, sitting in a boring lobby or at the menu, you know, waiting for the next game, you can kind of come over here, mess around, prestige weapons. Looks like soon we're going to be able to craft paint jobs on the guns. You can even enter some kind of 1v1 match down in this little pit down there. So it's all very cool. I think they did a very good job with multiplayer. You've got like the quartermaster where you can buy drops if you want to do that, purchase COD points. And then you can use like your armory credits to, you know, get contracts and then complete them. And depending on what you complete, they may give you XP or supply drops. And then you can also use the armory credits for collections. So maybe you've earned things in supply drops, but you still want maybe one of those epic weapons. Well, if you have enough armory credits, you can just go ahead and buy everything within the collection, the calling card or pistol grips, and then you can unlock it. So I think it's very cool. They did a good job. You know, 60 days later, like I said, I'm giving it a solid 9 out of 10. I've been playing it pretty much every day since it came out, and I love it. So make sure you guys head over to Gaming for Grandpa, our charity gaming YouTube channel. You can check out some gameplay. I uploaded 3 new videos over there. So make sure you guys check it out. Not sure if you're playing Call of Duty World War II, but as for how does it hold up on the multiplayer experience 60 days later, totally give it a 2 thumbs up. So happy new year to all of you. Welcome back to the channel. Again, I'm Ryan Rigg with Fast Electronic and Loud. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on the video, subscribe with notifications. We're going to be releasing a new giveaway video soon. Hopefully you did enjoy the Call of Duty World War II review 60 days later multiplayer perspective. But thanks for watching.